Welcome back to Chow Time Pod. It's your host, Rick. Get a video today from MTR. Woman tries to take son from father and instantly regrets it. I'm almost positive this is going to trigger me, so I'm going to give a trigger warning on this one. Please like, subscribe them below. Really appreciate that. Let's get that chow. Showtime.
A subscriber sent me this crazy video and this crazy story regarding his fight back for his son.
You guys also sent me this video. Always appreciate you guys sending me these videos. I try my best to get all of them. Obviously, I do not.
Let's watch.
Y'all probably wonder what's going on, but yes, that's me, my son, and his mom. Hold on, don't click off this video real quick. I'm going to show you why I'm posting this video with Terrence Crawford, because he inspired this.
Bud came out with his hands balled up. Then his daddy said, we got $1 million baby boy, and I said, we ain't got shit.
Now let's get back to the video, but I'll explain everything here shortly.
This is my thing. Okay, this is my thing. If you're not going to do this, you're not going to do this. I don't care. Call me. Let my phone in. Come on. I'm trying to.
The son is holding on to the father like for dear life, it looks like.
For a little context, throughout a basketball game, this brother right here is who we just heard from a second ago. That's their son, and then this is the mother. You could tell that the mother, who has full custody, by the way, grabbing onto the arm of the young boy, who obviously doesn't want to go.
This is why the court system is just 100% disgusting. Because they'll still give this type of woman full custody, even though this gentleman here seems like a good father. Why is it just always given the case that women are the custody holders just because they were raising the kids when they were younger? Who has the means to raise the kids? Who has the affection? Who even wants to raise the kids? That's a big question that they should be asking also.
While the father is attempting to protect the boy.
Renee, stop. Get your ass up here. Come here.
Wait.
The little brother has both his arms all over his dad. Like,
Holding on.
He's grabbing onto me. He's grabbing onto me. He's grabbing onto me.
you hear that? I don't give a fuck. This mother does not give a fuck. Yet mothers like this reign supreme in the single mother epidemic.
I'm not touching you. Already. Call the police. Call the police. You're hurting the child. I'm not hurting him.
I know I'm interrupting a lot, but this shit always has me fucked up. Why can't this be shown to courts? And like, why do kids not have any say about what the fuck is going on with them and their lives? Can't this kid just say, my mother is crazy, she abuses me, or whatever has happened? I don't know. I don't want to put things in this kid's word, but this kid seems fucking scared. How is this not, as a person, a human being seeing this, we know that there's something wrong. Why are we allowing this?
No. You gotta be quiet.
Ooh, I'm guessing there's some hits exchanged. So you have to blur it out.
Hold on, baby. Calm down, bro.
Due to YouTube's guidelines, I cannot show some of what just happened at the end right there, but essentially someone came in and attempted to grab the mother off of the young boy. But I also wanted to freeze frame right here, and honestly, you could tell that this is a young boy that clearly loves his father, but
he's also scared of his freaking mother.
Is just as much in fear of his mother. This kind of fear or this kind of response from a young boy will only surface from someone who's been traumatized multiple times by somebody. And it's clear that somebody is the mother. See, the impact of maternal abuse on sons can be profound and long-lasting. Sons who grow up with abusive mothers are going to experience a range of emotional as well as psychological effects, including low self-esteem, anxiety, depression, anger, and difficulty forming healthy relationships going into the future. They're going to have trust issues, especially with women in the future, because the first loving bond with a woman has been tarnished by the mother's behavior. And it really goes to show how important that this father's role is in this particular situation.
The video y'all saw was of my son when he was younger. His mom pulled up on us when we was at an event and was claiming that I kidnapped my son and that I was brainwashing my son. I was neglecting my son. I was putting my son in danger.
That is not like neglect. That little boy was holding on to this man's for dear life.
She was just recently in a situation where her house got shot up close to 30 times.
Whoa.
2 people died. She was
Wait, what? What? So your house is pretty much a battlefield that 2 people just lost their lives in, and you want the kid to live there? Disgusting.
shot. Her boyfriend was shot. She got shot, and her family member got shot, but he got killed. So her boyfriend got killed, and her cousin got killed. She survived. But one thing about that situation, she ran.
How did courts not just take the child away? I don't understand this.
Ran towards the kid's bedroom, or she ran towards a bedroom that was right lined up with the kids. So when they shot, thank God that, you know, the bullets didn't go through them and through the walls and kill the kids. But that's just a side note. But
even after all of that, she's trying to say that he's being abusive. And the reason why she's saying that is because if you listen to the clip, she said, call the cops. So really her plan was to set some false allegations forward in order to control the situation.
After that situation happened, my son was staying with me. She pulled up on us, was like, I kidnapped my son. The only reason why my son was with me and was not with his mom during this time period was because, for one, or the dude she was with, he was selling drugs. And so he tried to rob somebody and it went wrong. So they tried to set up some dude and he got them before they can get him, even though she tries to spin the story. But when he was interrogated after he getting caught, that's what he came up with. So before he got caught, I didn't know what was going on. So I made sure I went to get my son, because when this happened, the government was trying to step in and maybe see what was going on, see if a kid was being neglected, because there was a bunch of kids in the house when this happened. So I made sure I got my son.
How is it not neglect when the house is getting shot up with a whole bunch of kids in it? Oh my God.
So, since she was in the hospital, so my son wouldn't be in the system. So I went to go get my son and was calling up to the hospital. They wouldn't release any information because she was shot. They couldn't catch the suspect yet. So whenever someone gets shot, if you're not like a certain type of family member, they don't let you come into the hospital room or get or you can't call up to the hospital and get information about who you're looking for. So I tried that, didn't work. So I had to wait for, her to reach out to me. When she did, she just started flipping, cussing me out, was like, where my son at? You keeping my son from me? I was just shot. And she kept arguing with me. And I was like, okay, just talk to your son. Here goes Damari. And I put my son on the phone. I was just like, here, talk to your son. I put my son on the phone, and she was just still cussing and cussing and cussing and cussing and cussing and cussing. He was trying to get her attention, and he was like, Dad, she's not talking to me. She's just cussing you out. And then I said, let her know you're on the phone. And when he said his name, she was like, I don't care. Put your dad back on the phone. Now I'm like, oh, you're crazy. I said, why won't you talk to him? He's like, no, you're trying to be slick. You're trying to keep him from me because you're trying to get off of child support.
In the majority of these cases, that's what it always comes down to. She don't care about her son, and the son knows that. Why else do you think that the son was latching on to the father's arm like that? Utilizing children for child support, or rather lifestyle support, is absolutely diabolical.
I'm not going to go on this whole backstory on child support, but this woman had me on child support. She put me on child support, and she played games because she was playing me and someone else, was trying to make it seem like it was someone else's baby when it was mine. And I was trying to say it was mine, but she was telling him it was his, and he was going crazy, putting his hands on her, trying to, hurt me maybe supposedly, but I wasn't, phasing it. But he was making threats towards me, because of her. And she was playing all these games and trying to later on marry me when I was in the military. Was telling him she was going to get my car and divorce.
Stop sticking it in crazy, guys. Just stop. Save your future children some trauma. Stop.
Me take everything, and then my son was gonna be with them because she was pinning my son on him and saying he wasn't mine. It was just messy, so she got exposed. Everything blew up. She couldn't she couldn't accept her responsibility in what she caused, the damage she caused in this family amongst people in the community. So later on, she never got a DNA test. Never knew if he was mine at the time. So when I went to Afghanistan, she popped up at the house to come see me. Was like, hey, here's your son. And then I knew he was mine because I can just see it clear as day. My name was already on the birth certificate, but I knew he was mine. So I'm like, cool, we need to work stuff out.
I would suggest still doing a DNA test just because the kid looks like yours. Isn't always the case. Just saying.
Need to be in my son's life. I don't like all that drama. She's like, cool. I leave, go to Afghanistan. Boom. About a month, 2 months later, I had to go to court. Didn't know it. So I had a child support hearing. They put me on child support. But because
the man was deployed. How the fuck are they able to put this man, give this man a court order when he's deployed like that? That's so fucked up.
Pulled up on me before I went to Afghanistan. I set stuff up my mom to send her $1,000 a month. So I was giving her $1,000 a month. Then child support was hitting me for like 600 some change. So I was giving her about $1,600 a month for one kid. And then by the time I came back, they were still expecting me to pay that amount. So I was literally broke. But anyway, she was doing all this, spending money on some other guy. My son was in Dookie diapers, pea diapers. She's feeding this dude lobster, steak, everything. I'm helping paying the bills. My mom was helping out. When my mom found out, she told me, and I was livid. But she wasn't pouring into my son. She didn't care about my son. By the time I got out the army, my son was already living with someone else, living with her aunt. And she wasn't taking responsibility of my son, but she was still collecting child support payments. Wow. And child support never stopped it, interrupted, no, nothing. It was terrible. I will break this stuff down if y'all want more on like what was my mind frame, why I didn't go to courts, or, a little bit more about me. But anyway, so just fast forward to the future. She just was neglecting my son so many different times. I was trying to get close to my son. I finally got real close to my son, got him.
Okay. This is the hot take of my hot take. This is why I would stay in relationships and marriages. Even if I was miserable. I cannot personally take the fact that my own offspring would be raised in such conditions by some harlot or whatever it is. I'm not saying that I would be with some harlot, but divorce is disgusting, and it becomes very ugly. And as much as a woman is good, once the divorce happens, it changes her. She might love the child, but now she resents you so much, and you are a piece of her. Your child is a piece of you. They see you in that child, and they will treat that child accordingly. I do not want that for my children. If a divorce was to happen, I would probably stick around until my kids can be successful, and then I would dip out.
With me, and was, making him, trying to help him become a better person than what I was. And so he can break any family curses.
Correct.
Next thing you know, I found out my son is lacking a lot of different tool sets. Or he's lacking a lot of different skill sets or tools that he needs to survive in the future, definitely as a man. So I found out his mom was just chasing other dudes. She was wanting me. She was using my son as a pawn to get money out of me or to get me back with her. If I couldn't be with her, she was going to get money to make me suffer and to try to keep me from being with other people. And she said it out of her mouth. I got other proof too that y'all can listen to. But anyway, so when that moment came and her house got shot up and I see my son was still behind in life and struggling with certain things, they was calling him Debo. He was a bully. He wasn't doing good in school. He didn't have really any
Oh man, Debo is not a good nickname for yourself.
skill sets. He
Or
stutter. I used to
the
stutter.
name.
He didn't know how to read, spell. I was like, bump that. He's with me. I'm about to get him right. And until we find this guy who shot up your house, almost killed my son and these kids, he can't come back with you just because of the way you was cussing on the phone while he was talking to you. And then all you was focused on was child support, child support, child support. I let you get child support for 2 years while he was still living with me. Never called and complained about it or nothing. But as soon as I was like, hey, I want to stop the child support, so I'm sitting in the private school, I'm doing all this extra stuff for him, I need this money to come into my household with my family. You was popping up, torturing my family, doing all this extra stuff. You popping out at events, trying to say I kidnapped my son, all because of child support. All because of child support. I can give
And they say fathers are deadbeats. Black fathers don't want to be in their kids' lives. No, it's usually the black mothers that really ruin it for the black fathers. They make it so hard for fathers to even be in their life.
y'all more backstory, but I'm gonna just say now, my son saw that Terrence Crawford video, and I thank God that we already put him in boxing, or I've been teaching him how to box basketball, but he's loved boxing even more.
Oh, he's a big
and
kid
he's
now.
He's more inspired to fight back for his life because he saw Bud's story with his mom. And so he's seen how his mom thought about him and how his dad thought about him. He's like, that's like my same situation. My dad been speaking great things about me, so he wants to see. And his mom done called him stupid, dumb, all kind of stuff. And I speak differently. I speak against that. So my son.
You guys hear all this, right? And when I hear all this, I think of the men that are the product of this, that were badgered and berated throughout all of their childhood because they were their father's son. Those men become very dangerous men. Can you imagine someone telling a young boy, you're a piece of shit, you're not worth anything, men are useless and all of this? What is that man gonna grow up to be majority of the time? A big woman hater. Why? Because the only woman in his life treated him like shit. How do mothers and... This is why when women say, oh, you have mother issues and oh, your mother and all this shit, they just bring up all of this bullshit that really affects men's lives. And like men share some of these things with women, like, oh, my mother was this and that, and then they use it against us. Fucking whores.
Son's gonna make it. We're trying to get him to the NBA. He might go boxing now. So if he goes to boxing, I'm going to move back to my hometown and put him in a gym with Bud, since I know Bud. And you know,
my man.
See, Bud would show my son some love, not like give him extra cool points, but just show him how to, get that little edge, that dog. Because I have it too, but sometimes you need other people from the community to pour into people.
Damn
I'm
right.
not a blocker of blessings. So I just wanted to make this video real quick just to let people know, like, hey, fella, speak out, stand up, use your voice. I didn't speak out, but I have documented stuff over the years. I just never spoke up because I didn't think there was a platform for it. Sorry, y'all, I'm just getting passionate. I didn't think it was.
Oh, you know what? If you guys make videos in similar situations, and you guys want me to share those videos, make a video, send it over to me. I will feature your videos. If you guys are in similar situations that you feel you don't have a voice to be able to speak on, especially when it's concerning your children, I'll speak for you guys.
A platform for it, but people have been showing mad love on the video for Terrence Crawford, speaking up, giving him praise, was saying like his mom was wrong for that. They spoke, blessings over the dad, but the mom, she might have changed by now. So, I'm open for forgiveness and second chances, but you got to really show the work. You can't just say the stuff and just expect someone to forgive you, because if you've been forgiven already and you already blew the word forgiven without putting the work in to get forgive, bump that. So
I'm gonna finish up the video in a quick second. It's almost done. But shout out to all of the single fathers out there. I am a product of a single father after my parents got divorced when I was about 7 years old. And just like this father right here, he made it his damn mission to ensure that I would have the foundation necessary for success. And I love to see, including all of the examples that he put in here, of the foundation that he has instilled and that he continues to instill to his boy regarding manhood. And here's the thing. If he did not step in when he did, how he did, this young man right here would have been a statistic coming from a mother that looked at him as a paycheck, who was spending her paychecks on the different men that are in and out of the household. There's no foundation there. There's no stability. And if you take safety away from a child, more often than not, they'll find other places or other groups or other associations that makes them feel more safe.
And that's where gangs come in, guys. Again, I grew up in Compton, like close to Compton. This was such a deal for me, especially in the 90s. Gang activity and stuff was much higher in Los Angeles and Long Beach and stuff. It was a big concern. Like everybody was worried about kids being alienated and being alienated enough to where they would join gangs. Nowadays, we don't even give a fuck about young boys. We really don't. We don't give a fuck about what they do. We let them go through their own devices. There's so many single mothers out there that are creating these little boys that they don't have anything. They don't understand anything. They need something and they're going to find it. And it's not usually the most safest, best thing to find. I known a lot of friends that joined gangs. A lot of them are not alive now. Some of them are in jail. It is what it is.
It stunts their growth, stunts their development.
I'll give y'all more information, but my son, he's been living back with me. He used to go back and forth a little bit. Like when I took him from his mom, and not took him, but kept him with me. You can say took him or whatever. When I kept him with me and got him caught up
My
in school,
boy.
taught him how to read, spell, a bunch of other skill sets. He wanted to go back with his mom.
Nah, that is wild. 30 days? Look at that. It damn near brings a tear to my eye
Same.
to see what discipline
I
can
am
do. She
proud
was allowed to eat all of this junk
of
food
this
and
little
shit like that. It was
gentleman.
crazy. He has his father's genetics.
I'm proud of the
underneath
father.
The layer of fat that the mother was allowing him to develop. Where you take away the junk food and put him
When
on
I
a
kept him
strict
with me,
workout
we got
regimen.
him caught up on school, taught him how to read, spell, a bunch of other skill sets. He wanted to go back with his mom because my
Good job,
standards were
young
high.
man.
But then he realized that's not the place to be. And so she kind of kept him from me a little bit longer.
Shout outs to you, little man, for knowing that it was a hard life with your father, and you chose to still be with your father, even though, originally you were like, man, this is hard, but you knew it's better for you. Remember, the best things in life are probably the hardest shit in your life. The easiest things come and go.
He came back with me. I got him back.
He got a
When she was
demon
trying to get him
back.
girlfriends, he was about to run away. He was about to wild out. I said, "No, I'm coming to get you." He was still that same little boy when I took him he was still that same little boy when he went to go live back with his mom. Sorry, I'm getting tongue tied. But he was that same little boy that I dropped off at his mom's house. But I've been pouring back into him. She wouldn't let him work out since he's been back with me. He's been working out. His
She wouldn't let him work out? Oh my.
stomach's getting right, his body looking good. We about to blow up. And I
Damn
thank you,
right.
son, for, pushing me to put this on the YouTube. You're believing in me like I believe in you. And I just want to tell the world, thank y'all for everyone who shows love, support. If y'all want to support the channel, just subscribe, like, help us run up the numbers. But my son, he's going to make it. Be looking out for him.
The name of this brother's YouTube channel is Work Plus Gains. I'm going to put a link down in the description box so you guys can go over there on the original video and share with him your thoughts regarding what it is that you just saw here. I think as a community, we need to continue to congratulate fathers that go above and beyond, that stop at nothing to ensure greatness. Shit, after we gone, the youth is all that we have. And the youth represents us, represents our society.
That's the sad thing, guys. The men that are probably holding it down now, which are fucking old, and closer to my age now, we're not going to be here for too much longer. Imagine what it would be like when we're gone, when it's only these guys left. And not all of them had great fathers like this gentleman here.
Represents our culture, represents boundaries, discipline. The better the youth, the better the society.
Correct.
And that could be your legacy.
You guys hear how MTR sees it, right? The better the youth, the better. This is why I think I am so emphasized on children and my children and just their well-being. Like, it might be because of my family upbringing too. My family was literally brought up to the most important thing is your kids and your kids' success. Once your kids are successful and doing wonderful, I'll die happy. That's how literally every single adult in my family feels. I actually feel that way myself too. So even I don't have kids,
Have to be, but it could be. You know, I look back on my father's life through all the stories that his friends have told me, and I for sure know I am his legacy. I'm his greatest achievement and accomplishment.
That
If you
you
was to
are,
ask
good
him
sir.
that before he passed, he would absolutely
you
say
are.
that. But here's the thing, and it's also why I've struggled so much. And I know it, but it don't show up on camera. But why I've struggled so much since his death in the form of grief is because just like I was his legacy, he was also a component of my purpose. Because while I understood the things that he sacrificed within his life to ensure my foundation, I recognized that as a young boy. And my way to try to repay him was to be the best man that I ultimately could be. And similar to my father, I think that this young boy is going to do something similar. Shout out again to Work Plus Games. Thank you so much for your story, my brother. Again, everybody in my audience, I'll leave a link to his video in the description box down below. And for all of my G's out there that did not grow up with a father in the household, just as I talked about before, about the youth and decisions that they're making to form the society in the future, you can make the decision to break the cycle. Now, when I talk about the cycle, I mean if your dad actually was a deadbeat, not your mom convinced you that your dad was a deadbeat. But deadbeat fathers absolutely exist, but break the cycle. Your best revenge in a situation like that is to be the father.
Shout out to the person that sent me this video. You know who you are. And it was triggering, but actually was so wonderful. It was triggering in the beginning, but the gentleman made my day. You know, the son made my day. Seeing him grow to be a more stable gentleman, the father being able to be in his kid's life. Life is so hard already, guys. Don't make it too much harder on yourself by picking a horrible person to have kids with. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate it. Catch you guys next time. Ciao.